real tough love approach is sometimes just I think a more impactful approach. And I think it influences us to, I don't know, just like, I think for you, I've heard, I mean, obviously we've talked about this a lot, but I think with your experience through recovery and maintenance and everything else, it's not like people like held your hand through that process. It was like, I think it was a pretty abrasive, harsh, there was a lot of harsh realities.
Well, I mean,
delivered
and
at that
everybody's
time.
different. So, like, don't get us wrong here. I hear exactly what you're saying. There were some people that held my hand.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, in the beginning, there was lots of people that held my hand, and I seek those people out because they enabled me to keep doing what I was doing.
The bad stuff.
Yeah, the bad stuff. But there was also some people in the rehab, like the counselors and stuff. Some of them were very nice, and they did. It was a gentler approach, which sometimes I do need. And yeah, like, let's not get it wrong. Like, I don't think everybody needs to be like, listen,
no,
your life is crap, and I'm going to tell you why, and you need to do this, 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 and this. I think people do need to find that out generally for themselves. And I mean, say that to somebody. Well, even take me on Sunday. No way. I wouldn't have any. If you tried to talk to me with tough love, I would have told you where we would have used some of those 4-letter words, right? I think that did happen a little bit.
Yeah.
But, I mean, try to tell that to somebody who's chronically depressed or, even you've been in that situation with PTSD.
I don't think,
I would
don't
never
mistake
come at
me,
you
though.
sideways and say, hey, listen, blah, blah, blah.
No, but don't mistake me. I don't mean that. I'm not translating that tough love into people coming at you saying, this is what you need to do. This is, your strategies and this is what you should be doing. I don't mean that. I just mean I think there's a fine line between, you mentioned it already, that enabling that can often happen with people, especially in our support network, right? Like, we've done it for each other before. We've enabled each other in some poor habits, not like highly destructive habits.
We do it with food.
Absolutely.
As a couple, we do it with
Absolutely.
food. We reward each other with food.
Yeah.
That we really shouldn't be eating.
Absolutely. And so I think that's where I say that there's a fine line between enabling somebody else and sort of that tough love approach that says, okay, this is where you're at right now. And that usually comes from you. Like, you can identify yourself. You know where you were at on Sunday. I know where I've been at when I'm like at my bottom. So part of that is just allowing yourself and accepting, okay, I'm in the shit, and now I'm going to have to figure out, what does it look like to come out? And a lot of times it's not like, I'm just saying, like, for me and for you, I think a lot of the time it's not about, oh, it's okay, like, just stay there and just, you don't have to do anything. I'm just saying there's a fine line between that and saying, okay, what's your plan?
Yeah.
And then it becomes a bit of a challenge for the other person.
But again, I'm still talking about approach. I mean, there's 100 million different approaches, and I think tough love approach is one approach, definitely. I think mainly what you're talking about is to just expose.
Right.
Expose it. However that's going to happen, the best way to get that exposed is just to ask open-ended questions.
Yeah.
Just go ahead and let the person kind of expose it themselves and say, wait a second, a good one is, on a scale of 1 to 10, how do you feel? And then they say 7. And so instead of saying, oh, well, why don't you feel like a 9? You'd say, so why don't you feel, 7? Why don't you feel like a 5? Then that person has to talk about why they feel better than 5.
Right.
And I'm not blah, 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 and I'm doing this and I'm doing that. Well, why are you doing that?
I don't think you've ever done that with me.
Well, I'm not going to do any of that with you because you'd rip my head off.